Welcome to the BSR Grand Tour here on Apex Racing TV for round 10 of the season. We are into the showdown now, so the champion could be decided today potentially. But I am Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me is Alex Simpson, who's also on the cameras. And Alex, this is really the business end of the championship now. A few drivers have been safe to get into this stage of the championship for a while, but now they've really got to get on their game.
Yep, hello everyone. Exactly that, Sam. I think great place to start off the showdown, that's for sure. But yeah, so important now. Can't afford to make any mistakes. They need to finish absolutely every single race in this showdown. They need to be quick. They need to be precise, and they need to be, confident really going in that they can get these results that they need. I think the showdown format really resets everything with the championship, and it really throws it wide open. So anybody could win, any one of the sort of top six. So let's just wait and see exactly what happens.
Yeah, I should take you through the 6 drivers who have a chance at the championship in the showdown. Anwar Smith is at the moment in the lead of the championship. They got bonus points for race wins, although very few, so it is pretty much level. But he has a small advantage currently over Lee Diemer. Ralph Cullinan is the only non-Mercedes in the showdown. He's in a BMW, so watch out for him. Jim Flanagan starts the race in 4th in the championship. And that's Luke Clark and Kip Stevens, who those two just about got themselves in at the expense of Chris Daines and Mark Gray. So it's they'll be glad to get into this showdown. And of course, Silverstone, I think it's a circuit that you quite enjoy, Alex. Of course, hopefully we're going to have the updated version in the next 12 months or so, although we've been saying that for a while. But yeah, it is a great flying circuit, this configuration.
Yeah, the last 36 months I've been saying. But yes, I do enjoy this version though. I will say that it's a great circuit. From running here as well, in sort of GT events and World Championship events, in the GTs, it's not necessarily the easiest place to get by. I think the BMW will be strong here, just because it really requires a lot of downforce. So expect Rafe to do quite well today. And yeah, the Mercs, they've got the downforce where it needs really, so they'll still be strong as well. So those showdown contenders that are in that car, I think are gonna have a good race. If you had something like the McLaren or the Ferrari, they might struggle a little bit here.
Yeah,
but Stuart McFadden's done a good time in qualifying.
Yes, he has. So which car is he in?
He's in a Ferrari.
He's in a Ferrari. Okay, so and Stuart, that's one of his best qualifyings of the season. I think I've seen him. So. Maybe do you know what car Josh Thompson is in?
He'll be in the BM.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, quite a range, which is good to see. We always want to see that diversity, and certainly got diversity in the grid, which will be bring you in a few moments' time. But of course, the concentration I think for a lot of these drivers is to have a clean race, as you said earlier. And of course, you've been in this situation, Alex, and do they really have to be thinking about the championship now, or is that too dangerous to think about the championship now and start, driving as though you are driving for the championship?
They've definitely got to look at it now. There's none of this, I don't look at the championship stuff. They'll all have to keep an eye on it from here on out and to know what they need to do, who they need to beat out there, everything. With it being reverse grid racing, it does make it a little more interesting for them as well, because they'll know if their rivals ahead of them because of a reverse grid or whatnot and have to fight up to them. So it's a lot of fun for us as well, because we get to see who they're trying to make sure they sort of beat.
Yeah, definitely. We had that dynamic yesterday in the Euro V8s, and it certainly was something to talk about. But now we can take you through the grid. So it's Richard Gafenki. Brilliant time from him. Takes pole position by nearly 0.2 of a second over Josh Thompson. Good to see him out there today. Stuart McFadden starts in 3rd. Richard Warmingham in 4th. He's been in a rich vein of form recently. Adam Broughton Grant in 5th. Michael Great starts in 6th. He just missed out on the showdown. And that's Scott Malcolm. John Watson doing well in 8th. Ralph Cullinan will be a bit disappointed with that in 9th. Luke Clark starts in 10th. Lee Diemer in 11th. Remember, second in the championship, currently not the qualifying he needed. Colin Robinson starts in 12th. Then it's Jim Flanagan, disappointing for him. Lane O'Connor, Carl Hardy, Anthony Jacobson, David Ayres, and Max Wright rounding up the field. I must say, this is a bit of a mixed up field, Alex. So, like Gafencu being on pole, and then you got, Cullinan, Clark, Diemer, Flanagan, all down the order. It's a very odd one.
Yeah, Silverstone can throw up something in the mix there. It's a tough old track. Got the high speed section at the very start, and it's quite slow speed in the second half of that field GP layout. So the guys really have to find a balance that works for both.
Yeah, of course, no Anwar Smith today, so the championship leader isn't going to be leading the championship after this, and we are going to have a full pace lap, unfortunately. I don't know why they can't line up on the hangar straight, but there you go. But yeah, we're going to have a full formation lap then behind the safety car as they pull away. So yeah, of course, Anwar Smith not around, Kip Stevens not around. So Diemer, Cullinan, Flanagan, and Clark are really the ones to watch out for, and yeah, they're all relatively far down the field. But anyone that really stands out to you, Alex, to maybe win this race? I know, of course, Thompson has been joining a few leagues recently. We've seen him earlier this week. And of course, Gafencu is up there as well. But both those two haven't won rounds this season, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Rich very quick. I'd like to see him win one, I have to say. Josh is very quick as well, and he does drive this car a lot, which will help. My issue with Josh at the moment, he seems to be jack of all but master of none. So I want to see Thompson really start to excel in a particular car. He's, a nearly man in a lot of series, and just goes to show his talent to be that. But yeah, I want to see him really stand out and excel in one. And now he's going to do a bit of V8 supercar next season. Could it be that he's going to spend more time in that? Or maybe he just needs to sort of do some GT3, settle in that and just really excel in that car. So who knows? Let's see how he gets on though today. He's well capable of winning one.
Yeah, he was telling us yesterday how he's given up on the Formula Renault finally. So yeah, clearly fed up with that car, and yeah, hopefully he can find the GT3s or the V8 supercars maybe as a replacement. But yeah, he'll be looking strong from second on the grid. But for the championship contenders, all starting quite far down the field, it's going to be interesting this, because it's almost as though it is a reverse grid. They are so far down the field.
Oh.
I guess they've got experience, and that was a big break, wasn't it, from Gafencu? Nearly
was
McLaren run back into the
Yeah, I'm not sure what Richard's doing there. There's no need to do that. I mean, especially in iRacing, we're not trying to, warm the tyres up or anything. Are we ready for this one? So yeah, that was perhaps a little bit uncalled for sure. But fortunately, McFadden was alive to the situation there.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of some of them, and the causing end, I must say. And yeah, they are very frustrating to damage your car before it's even started. Of course, in iRacing, I think you've got no brake temperature to worry about, and the tire temperature doesn't change on the formation lap. It resets itself on the race start. So I didn't really see the point in that. But now coming round the Abbey chicane, approaching bridge, already quite a big gap between the pace car and Gafencu. But he's gonna surely have to wait for the green flag, I guess. Maybe not. But he could let this one go quite early, couldn't he, Alex? So maybe even before the final corner.
I think he will. I think that's the whole plan and point, that he's wanting to keep the guys bottled up a little bit. Josh obviously tried to sort of push him forward a little bit, going down the down the hangar straight, but in the end just couldn't do anything to try and pick the pace up. Richard was very determined in what he was going to do.
And here he goes.
Yeah, he's away. He's caught Thompson napping somewhat.
Yeah, really spread out field now, and Thompson going to lose a position perhaps. But an awesome start for Gafencu as we start this race side by side for second and third, I think, as the drivers all race through. But it is Gafencu in the lead. And it's McFadden in second place, followed by Thompson. So Thompson lost a position. Not too much changes other than that. Pretty much no changes. But yeah, all relatively cleanly through the first few corners, I think. And now we will start the hanging straight. That BMW, can it stay in the tow? Can it close the gap? Notorious for its slow straight line speed. And it's not really managing to pressure. It's going to be awkward now for Thompson to make these moves, isn't it? Because that car, it's great through the corners, but especially compared to the Ferrari, it's going to struggle down the straights.
It will do, but I think the thing with the Ferrari, it takes a while to get up to the speed, so that's the problem it had at Le Mans. That's why it couldn't break away from the Mercedes. The Mercedes was able to get up to the speed quicker, and then it just used the draft to keep with them. So I think it's going to be tougher for McFadden to sort of use the advantage of the speed here than it would be. Oh well.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a gift.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Josh will take that all day long, every day. Thank you very much. So, just couldn't quite settle in, could he? Fadden in the early laps. That's allowed Josh through. And now we've got Richard Warmingham behind. I believe Richard's had a change of team as well, so that's why the different livery. No longer with Bodak, so I'm not sure what's gone on there. But there was quite a big exodus from the team.
Yeah, something happening with Bodak. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to resolve the issue. But Warmingham's still looking as strong as ever. Looked particularly good at Grand Tour. The last race I covered. Fortunately missed the last race. But Warmingham, I think, missed the last round. Otherwise he would have been in the top 6. He's been really good, particularly in this second half of the season. Good run of form. But yeah, that missed round last week has really cost him. He hasn't made the showdown, but he's still right up there. And here's Flanagan going through and coming onto the hang straight in P12. He's made up one position on Conan Robinson. Dima also got past Clark, and that's important for the championship. Dima second in the championship, Clark in 5th. And yeah, Costa Flanagan very much in the championship as well. But relatively quiet start. I think that early launch from Gafenki really did spread out the field before the race even started.
Good call from him, I think. Got some track positions as far as spreading them out. Got some physical time on chasing pack straight away. So yeah, very sensible idea. And it was more about the fight for second than it was for anything for the lead. So yeah, Josh just caught a little bit asleep. I think we could see what was going on there, but perhaps not accustomed to what some of these guys do on these starts. And yeah, it was around the outside of Luffield when you don't want to have when you don't want to start to happen,
Yeah, absolutely. And now Warmingham under a bit of pressure from Broughton Grant. Grant only 2 tenths behind here, so he gets into the tow. The two Mercedes right next to each other, but there's no way through going into turn 1. And going up into this next section, it's Maggots and Beckett's. Just got to stay as close as possible. The turbulence won't be too much of an issue. Can he take a slightly different line? Just didn't quite take as much curb there. And it's lost him about 1/10 of a second. And it's unlikely that he's going to get the run. Although a little bit wide there for Warmingham. And Broughton Grant has now got the momentum into
completely different lines, weren't they?
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
And that really made the difference. It looked like he was going to lose a load of time, was Grant, but actually ended up gaining a little bit more as well.
Now we're going into club, really one of the very few major braking zones, but it is really difficult to overtake there, I find, Alex, because it's so easy just to run onto that grass on the outside, and it's easy for the opponent to respond back in the next corner.
Too easy. I mean, actually one of the toughest corners to get the power down around here. I mean, thankfully for the GT3, they have a bit of traction control that will help out, but yeah, not easy at all. Fastest lap of the race last time by then for Josh Thompson. He closed in about 0.3 of a second on our leader, and it looks like he's done a very similar sort of thing again this lap. We'll see when they cross the start-finish line exactly what the difference was.
Yeah, within 0.9 of a second, so Gafenku does a 1:44.12. Thompson 43.90. So he's clearly got the pace advantage. He's dragging himself closer. That's close. Very close between Wormingham and Grant's got even closer on that last lap. And he's definitely faster. He has a little bit of a look. And I think he's going to go through here. And it's still side by side. This is incredible through Maggots and Beckett's. And Grant, what a move, Alex. I did not think that one was possible.
No, got it done. Just got the run, didn't he, out of Cop's corner, and yeah, made it happen. So good job. And needs to defend it a little bit here, though, because it is easy enough to try and get round the outside, and that's what Wormingham's trying to do. You get a much better run off of Stowe towards Vale. Yeah.
Yeah, nice and late in the big spool. Brought Grant to just establish bits of a gap, and now Gray is on the back of Wormingham. So Wormingham going backwards a little bit more than he'd like. Still behind, not too much battling going on. Dima is a little bit close to Cullinan, but that's pretty much it. Lead has come down a tiny bit more on this lap, but not massive gains for Thompson. I guess it's going to be ebbing and flowing, isn't it? Because the BMW and the Mercedes are going to be strong and weak in different parts of the circuit.
Yeah, 100%. I think we'll take a little look at that if it gets to within 0.4 of a second. But right now, let's stick with this trio. Completely different line for Gray. Wants to straighten up the corner a little bit earlier on. Runs a little wide to do that. Does give you a good shoot out of the corner if you get the line absolutely sweet. Did look like a good exit there. So go into Cops, and very easy just to push a little wide there. Obviously not like the F1 cars that are just absolutely glued to the floor with the downforce through there.
Yeah, really have got to manage the understeer through that turn one in particular. And here is the lead. So on that last lap, Thompson made up another 7/100. So wasn't quite the big gains that we've seen recently. However, he is now in the tow. What kind of is the tow range in this car, Alex?
From experience, I believe it's 1.5 seconds, something like that. You don't get an awful lot there. You know, for a decent amount, you need to be looking at about the 1 second. But I'm sure last time I drove this, it was about 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, so it's well within it now. It's going to really be propelled along. And maybe won't be losing any time down the straights now, despite that maybe a little bit less power in that BMW. But a lot of pressure now on Gafenku to hold on to that lead. Don't think either of these two have had wins so far this season. I think this might be Thompson's first round of the season, in fact. So these aren't positions that these two are used to, that they are driving very well up there. And they're still pulling slightly away from McFadden, but he is pretty far clear of Grant, who carries on to pull out away from Wormingham, who I think has just made a mistake, or maybe just taken a slightly different line there. But still Gray really close to Wormingham.
It might be worth pointing out as well that I loaded the car pack in as well for the Mercedes, the BMW and the Ferrari, which you might not have.
Ah, right, okay.
Maybe for the next race we'll get you sorted on that.
Yeah.
I just thought about that one too, as we had a great shot there looking back at from Gafenku's wing at Thompson. Right, closer than I've seen him, so let's not jump away, because it'd be typical. I would look at a battle going on further down, so I don't get accused of just focusing on the leaders. But that's when the lead change happens. It's usually like that, so I felt the need to change the camera. We'll stay with it just for another half lap, see what Josh can do around Vale, and then this club corner. That's where I think the BMW might excel. Remember, of course, that the BMW carries a lot less weight now than some of the other cars as well. The BOP being adjusted on a regular basis based on the results of the VRS GT Championship races to get some sort of ballast performance. Performance ballast, sorry. It's not necessarily working, because obviously they keep going to different tracks that actually favour other cars, and then they get penalised in that, and we just end up all over the place at the moment. So But that's what we've kind of got. So the Mercedes has, I believe, got a little bit of extra weight, where the BMW hasn't. So it's not kind of a traditional sort of perhaps start of the season balance of performance out there than what we were used to.
Yeah, I think it's something like 30 kilos, I think, added onto the Mercedes, also a little bit added to the Audi as well. But that BMW got nothing.
It's actually more added to the Audi, because the Audi has had two whole sessions. They whacked a little weight onto the Audi first, and then they've literally just added weight the whole way through. And I do believe the Audis did well at the circuit they were at recently in that series as well. I think it might have been Nürburgring. So I fully expect that car will get nerfed a little bit more for the next race. So yeah, you've only got the World Championship drivers to blame, I'm afraid, for trying to drag it up towards the front of that series. But when 3/4 of the grid is Audi, it's going to do well.
Yes. Not 3/4 of this series is Audi. I think it's only Max Wright who is in an Audi in 15th position. Has gone up 3 places though, the biggest mover out there. Apart from that, hasn't really been too many overtakes. Even the championship contenders like Clark, Flanagan, Cullinan struggled to make the positions up the field. But,
well, they won't do anything rash, will they, on the first race of the Showdown? That's for sure. You know, get a DNF now, really puts you on the back foot, because you're constantly trying to catch up rather than, you know, just sort of focus on what you're doing. You know, you constantly look at the tail going, right, I'm going to need to get this and this and this, just to try and have a bit of contention at the end of the sort of the 3 races.
Yeah, absolutely. It is still very close at the front, down to 0.2 of a second now between Gafenki and Thompson. And here we are. So he's closer than ever here. So let's see what time Gafenki does. It's going to be slower. 44.34. Thompson. 44, yeah, 44.7 for Thompson and a 44.97 for Gafenki. So he's getting closer. And let's see if he can really follow the Marcus Beckett. So let's compare their lines. A little bit wide, a little bit more speed carried in by Thompson. Although that front end on the BMW does look superb. It just seems as though he can rotate the car that much better. Doesn't really gain any time though, the Maggots and Beckett's, and he remains quite far behind down the Hangar Straight.
I think that one of the things that's always sort of stuck with the BMW is that you really have to, you know, believe and feel the downforce that is available to it. When I first drove it, I was like, this thing's way off, way off. But then the more you drive it, you realise actually there's quite a bit more downforce here, and you can attack corners a lot more aggressively. So perfect car really for Thompson, because that's kind of what he likes to do.
Yeah, definitely. And sure, he's going to be willing to, a little bit wide. It's the opportunity for Thompson. Got a better run here, but it's such a short run down to bridge. Can he sneak down the inside? Not quite. Maybe a move in single seaters, not in GTs. Gonna have to be a dive from here. A little bit covered off there for Gafenki taking an early apex. Oh, can you look all the way through there? There's just not enough room on the inside. Really needs to be a little bit closer, and I think he is ever so slightly closer on this lap, although the times are going to have pretty much nothing between them. And we start another lap here. Only got, I think is it 2 more to go, Alex, including this one?
Question? I don't think so.
This is the last one.
No, we've still got quite a way to go. 20-minute race, of course, so we're only 14 minutes, 20 seconds in.
Oh, yeah, of course, that was the pace lap. Of course, I don't have that counter.
Of course you don't. No, of course you don't. Sorry.
Yeah, so mine's saying 1940. So, but just gives more time for Thompson to make the move, get the job done. But it's not going to be easy, and Jim Flanagan's got an issue, I think. He's dropped right back to the field.
Oh, I'm not sure quite what's happened there. Dima also changing positions. Just as a note on that as well, if you look at the live timing window, you should have a race time at the very top left. It should say race running, racing, and then the time left.
Oh wow, okay.
4 minutes 56.
Yes, every race he seems to just expand this. Or I just don't notice all these details.
Yeah, that one's been there from the start,
Yep.
I'm afraid. So this
Oh,
is great.
Thompson's got past Kavenki.
Oh, well, that's just
I
typical.
can't believe it.
Right,
Oh,
let's see it.
it's going to be a
Into
nice move, isn't it? Into
yeah,
Abbey.
into Abbey late on the break.
Very.
Josh
Oh, wow.
is
Oh,
always
contact.
very good on the brakes, and that's kind of where he did it. Yeah, aggressive but fair. Totally.
Yeah, I
Right,
might go back and see
to
what happened
this
to.
big
Yeah, I might
pack.
first find what happened to Flanagan, because that's important for the championship. And who's that? Who's had enough? That's Jacobson.
Yeah, I think this is a replay of an off that he had. Exactly that. He just lost it through Priory. Did well not to take anybody else out, but dropped all the way to the back because of it.
Yeah,
Got
so
Malcolm just trying to hold on to his 7th place here. Got a right gaggle behind him. So Watson, Cullinan and Dima. I expected Ray to be a bit further up the field, I have to say. He's just not been able to make too much progress. Gafenku's just dropped down the order. I'm going to see if here we go, I think I've got this on replay. Alright, that's not worked at all.
By the way, the issue for Flanagan, he spun coming out of turn 1, and had.
Yeah,
Good. Oh, okay.
you're not gonna get away with that, I'm afraid. When you're on the grass, you get away with it on the curb, like proper hardcore on the curb, but you're not gonna get away with it on the grass. Sorry, Richard.
Oh, did
Get
yeah.
out the gas. That would have kept you in 2nd place there.
I remember watching an event for Project Cars. I think it was the world fastest game, and of course that's now all tarmac.
Yes.
So, one element of the old track which is certainly better than the new one, because yeah, this circuit, certainly in F1, has been notorious now for spending the majority of the lap all 4 wheels off the circuit. But yeah, on this configuration it's slightly better. Here's Cullinan trying to make up the positions. Currently the highest placed championship contending driver, so this could be a great day for Cullinan in the BMW. He's got Lee Dima right behind him. I think if the results ended like this, Dima would still be marginally ahead in the championship, because Luke Clark's also in the championship just behind them as well. But not a good day for Jim Flanagan, back in 17th position.
As long as he finishes and scores points, that'll be his main priority, you know? You get the DNF and don't score any points at all, then it becomes a major problem.
I hope for a full reverse grid as well.
Apparently Michael Gray's had the top speed out there in this race. A little bit faster than the rest of them. Not sure quite where that was. It's showing 493 kilometers an hour, which is pretty epic.
So 493.
Yep.
Right.
Don't quite know where that's gone. Definitely a miscalculation somewhere there.
Yeah, Colin managed to get Watson just as we turned away. So yeah, always going to happen. And he's now he's now up into 8th place, and now Dima kind of needs to get the job done if he possibly can. Watson having a good day out there. Been struggling a little bit this season for consistent top 10s, but he's really taking it to some of the best drivers in this league right currently. And Colin actually will have his eyes set on Malcolm now.
Yeah, a 7th place finish wouldn't be too bad for him. He's going to have to do it this lap, because this will be the final lap of the race. Just 40 seconds to go as they cross the line. The leader's not sufficiently far enough ahead that he's going to get around again. And Broughton Grant leads this next little group. We've got Warmingham and Gray very close, and of course just ahead of them is Gafenku after his mistake.
Yeah, Gafenku nearly dropped behind Broughton Grant, but good credit to Richard Warmingham, of course, because he was overtaken by Broughton Grant. I thought he might be Gray for Gray, but I think he's managed to hang on to that one quite nicely, so hasn't come under too much pressure. Flanagan trying to go off for a move on airs, I think, out there. He's only 2 tenths behind. That could be important for the championship. You can see the damage he picked up from earlier on.
Big time.
But he's a lot faster, isn't he? So he could get the two of them on it, but he's going to struggle so much down the straights. Or will he? Because he's got a decent run out there of Chapel right into the toe. But he's not really gaining anything. Oh, slow for the BMW. He's going to try to go down the inside Flanagan. I don't know what happened there. That was Hardy so early on the brakes. In the end, no changes. Flanagan's got to get the move, surely. He's got nothing to lose. You may as well go for it. But it's got so much more pace than these guys. But I think Thompson's about to round the final corner to take the race victory.
Indeed,
and here comes brilliant drive from Josh Thompson. Jumped down to third at the start. But a fantastic win for him. Stuart McFadden, good drive from him as well in second. And Richard Kofenki will be ruining that mistake, although he'd already lost the lead to Thompson. And here comes Cullen. He's not going to get the move on Malcolm. Watson just behind Deemer and Clark. An incredible turn of events with the 3 championship contenders in this race. Not finishing high up the field at all. And Flanagan's dropped behind Jacobson. I can't believe it. So Flanagan, can this day get any worse? Can this race get any worse? He might be able to achieve it though. Flanagan's going to get it on the line. Every point counts. Oh, and a big crash as well. Don't think it affected the standings, but no. Yeah, they just about crossed the line. But very nearly Flanagan finished last out there. But I think we can take you through the finishers now, and it's Josh Thompson taking the race victory. Stuart McFadden in second. Richard Kofenki finishes in third. Adam Broughton-Grant with a good fourth. Richard Warmingham, another solid result for him in fifth. Next, Michael Gray, Scott Malcolm, Ralph Cullinan, the top Showdown driver in eighth. Next, John Watson with a good drive. Lee Deemer, not a brilliant round for him, but he will now be leading the championship, I believe. Not quite sure actually on that. May have to check that. I think he may have only picked up 1 point there. So, yeah, not brilliant for Deemer. And then it's Clark in 11th, Robinson 12th. Lane O'Connor 13th. He had a bit of a quiet race. So too did Max Wright from the back of the grid, to be fair, to gain 4 positions into 14th. David Ayres in 15th. Carl Hardy 16th. And it's Jim Flanagan, not the race he wanted. And he only just about beat Anthony Jacobson to the line, 45 seconds off the lead. And Alex, I think we have a wheel.
We do have a wheel. Indeed we do. Right. Bring it up and see who is going to be on the pole.
Of course, everyone is valid for this because there was no one a lot down.
Oh, well, not quite a full. It was very close. 16th it will be.
Oh wow, okay. So, Jim Flanagan's missed out then. That position he needed to gain hasn't gone his way. So it'll be Carl Hardy on pole position for race 2 with David Ayres second, Max Wright third, and Lane O'Connor fourth. So really good opportunities for them. And Luke Clark and Lee Deemer will be the 2 highest positioned Showdown drivers. So certainly catch race 2, which will be coming to you in about 15 minutes time. See you then.
here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerrick at the line. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary. Up the line.
Welcome back to the BSR Grand Tour here at Silverstone, where we are here for the first round of the Showdown. And it was a very interesting first race, super competitive out there, as we've seen throughout the season. I'm Sam Fitzpatrick, and back alongside me is Alex Simpson, who's also on the cameras. And Alex, of course, that first race had a nice little battle for the lead, super competitive, as I mentioned earlier. But I think the fact that the championship challengers seem to really be struggling today. They're not anywhere near the front, seemingly. I think that's a really good element because they're right into the depths of the midfield where accidents can occur.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out, actually, because you expect the Showdown people to be right at the front, but the grid is, like you say, it's just really mixed up, which is very strange. So makes for an interesting dynamic, because that's kind of what the people need with these sort of Showdown races, to be able to pull away significant amount of points from their rivals by having a good race. And usually you don't do that because they're all very, very close for obvious reasons, because they usually come to the top of the championship because they're the better drivers. But yeah, it's been such a close championship all round with these guys that actually quite it's quite unique in that sense.
Yeah, we're certainly no closer to knowing who the champion will be. And actually, just looking at the points that you get, it's very much I think it's MotoGP scoring system. So 25, 20, 16, 13, 11, 10, and then all the way down to 1, descending 1 each time to 15th place, who gets 1 point. So they're not picking up a whole lot of points, and if they can't get like a podium, those championship challenges, the Joe who's not here today, Anwar Smith, he's actually going to have a chance, despite missing around, because he's really kind of been the fastest driver so far this season, and even despite missing around, he may still have a chance at the overall title.
I disagree entirely.
Really?
Honestly, I don't think he can't. So, I think that'll be too much of a margin to catch back up by the end of the season. I just feel like the other guys will just score regularly enough that he's going to struggle.
Well, who's been right more often recently, though?
Well, you know, would you like to put a wager on it?
Okay, good. First, Carl Hardy on pole position, and then David Ayres, Max Wright. Lane O'Connor starts in 4th, Colin Robinson in 5th, Luke Clark, the first championship challenger, in 6th. Then it's Lee Deemer, another championship contender, followed by John Watson and Ralph Cullinan in the BMW, Scott Malcolm, Michael Gray, Richard Warmingham, Adam Borton-Grant, Richard Gafenke, who could have won that first race, got pole position last time, Stuart McFadden, Josh Thompson, the winner from race 1. Jim Flanagan had an awful race 1, and he starts really far down after scoring no points last time. And it's Anthony Jacobson rounding out the field. Hardy doesn't seem to be doing the same thing as we saw in the last round, giving the safety car a gap, but he's right on the tail. Can he hold on to the lead against David Ayres? Can Max Wright and Lane O'Connor do anything? Going to be going green very, very soon. In comes the safety car. And he just hesitates a little bit, and it's a nice little start from Hardy. Gets a bit of a gap over Ayres, who's going to be under pressure from Max Wright and O'Connor, but O'Connor's already up into 3rd position, I think. And Max Wright just getting a little bit on the inside there, might be under pressure later on as well. Oh, and off the track, I think that was Hardy going right off. It's going to be side by side going into Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to win this one, but it's still Hardy hanging on in the BMW. Single file seemingly until right at the back. I think that might be Flanagan making up a couple of positions, but pretty clean once again. Let's see what's going to happen down the hangar straight. Can anyone pick up positions? Gafenku's already up 4 positions. Brilliant start for him. And here comes Thompson up 5 positions. So that's an important battle up there.
Oh, 3 wide.
Wow.
Somehow they managed to avoid hitting each other. Wow.
Oh, and down the inside, that's Clark going past O'Connor. And it's really chaotic just behind going into club. I think they've all sorted it out just about. But nice start for Clark, already up to 3 positions, and he's going to be looking at the race victory to help his championship chances.
Yeah, good, like I say, solid start, and what he needs. And I think he's generally a bit quicker than Ez and Hardy as well, so needs to get to these guys nice and quick. We've got collision, 2 BMWs, one of our showdown contenders has been collected in this as well. Let's see exactly what happened.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to put that down as a bit of a racing incident, I think. There's just no room for anyone. Let's see a better shot of it. I think Rafe was trying to come to the inside and Thompson was already there. So it's just a first lap racing incident, isn't it? When there's just everyone's in such close proximity. No inch given, and yeah, let's just hope that it's not a permanent finish like a meatball or something like that for Rafe, because I think that'll put him out of contention already.
Well, he's not going to score any points seemingly, so it's not good whatsoever. Cullen Thompson had an awesome start. Clark's had an even better start. He's up into P2 now. And yep, just goes straight round the outside of David Ayres. He's had a decent start, but has now lost the 1 position and quite a chain behind. So Ayres might be losing a few more positions. Up 8 places is Gafenku, so he's getting himself right back up there. He's that side by side. That's right, losing out, I think, to O'Connor. And actually, next up will be Gafenku trying to make his way past. So here he comes in the slipstream, and he'll look for the inside, maybe into Abbey. Oh, and that he's that just yeah, goes down the inside. He's going to get the 2 of them. I think accidentally. Oh, it's still side by side. He's got to give him room, and this is a little bit more awkward than he wanted. Gafenku nearly gained the 2, and he's still on the outside. Doesn't want to pick up contact, but he's just about to. Max Wright lost 2 lost 1 position in that.
Yeah, Max is only the 1, but yeah, he managed to get O'Connor with the move as well, wasn't it? So fantastic. Like I say, I think that was more by chance than by plan, because found himself in a place where it meant, well, he's got to commit to it now, and he went for it and yeah, pulled it off. So great job, up to 4th place, 10 spots already.
Yeah, awesome start. He should be in a good position at the end of this one, because it is so important, because the final race, the starting positions for the final race are dependent on the finishing results of this one. So it's important that these guys finish well, because the 35-minute race later on will be heavily affected by the results of these. And here comes Gafenku again. He's not that far off the lead, remember, and he may have the win in sight despite starting in 14th position. He's going to try to get another one here. David Ayres just ahead. He nearly made the move last time, and down the inside he goes. Not too much defense from Ayres, and he's now dropped another position once again at Stowe, and he's now got Clark to chase down. But I think Clark's going to be a little bit more difficult, isn't he, because Clark has got quite a bit of interest in the championship. Oh, you saw from the onboard there, that was quite close.
Yeah, I thought for a minute we could have something yeah, something go off there, but yeah, fortunately Ayres just got out of it ever so slightly. That was enough. Look, what's that battle going on further back? McFadden in there, yeah, and Dima and Wright, and Dima up the inside of Wright into Abbey, and a little out of shape for McFadden, for Wright.
Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, can anyone avoid him? Just about, yeah.
Done as well. Blown engine for Dima, so that is him done.
Oh, I can't believe it. It's the top in the championship. Championship leader. Well, you know how I said that Anwar Smith's going to have a chance after this one? With this rate, he's going to be right there, isn't he?
This is true. Yeah, this may be true. Well, I think I have to say, I think on Lee there, that's all on Lee, isn't it? He just got himself on the grass on that curb area, coming out of Abbey, and yeah, just full YOLO, foot to the floor, didn't care. And yeah, bit him hard.
Yeah, maybe he should have. And yeah, losing out does mean that Ralph Cullinan is back up into 14th. So crucially, a couple of points for him potentially. Every point counts right now, because apart from Luke Clark's not having a good day up there, and it might get slightly worse for Clark as Gafenku looks for the inside, but couldn't quite make it. Wasn't the room on the inside, and he's got plenty of time to make this one. I think he's got 13 minutes to do it. And he just looks to the outside. Nice defense from Clark again. Although I must say this, it looks like a matter of time.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's writings on the wall for that one. Dima is in the pits, of course, and we can see that on our screen at the bottom, but that will time out in a moment because I don't think he's going to go anyway. It takes a half hour to get an engine repaired, and we haven't got that long. Straight through, that's nice. Well, I say straight through around the outside and gets it done. Fantastic move, confidence, commitment on around the outside and in the braking zone, just what he needed.
Yeah.
Also, Ayres and Ayres and McFadden. It's exactly the battle that I was saying looked like it might be quite close on the timing screen. And there's a spinner behind.
Yeah, I heard that.
Heard that, but I don't see it. Who is it? I still don't see it.
Was it Robinson?
No,
No, I don't think it was actually, was it?
Nice. Doesn't look he's lost anything.
Yeah, maybe it was just a tyre squill. That'd
Possibly.
be quite deceptive. Yeah, really close for the lead now. Hardy and Kapenko. I think Kapenko might have him in state. Can Clark get interested in this one? He's really got to get close now, because this could be decisive, because Kapenko's going to have the better straight line speed here. And Hardy, it's probably not in his best interest to defend this one, although he is. He's staying to the inside, not leaving cars width, although Kapenko slightly disagrees. Can he go around the outside? Clark trying to get involved in this one. Not sure if there was contact there. Now, can Clark get involved? Because he's got a slightly better run. Going to have to go defensive again is Hardy. Right to the edge of the circuit, and contact between the two. He still made it though, Kapenko. That's a great move, because he kind of tried to squeeze him. Contact behind.
Oh, no.
And that's that's Clark. And
I want to see this on from on board, really. See what happened here. So, do you know what? I think this might be a better shot. Just he just lost it, didn't he? Just lost the rear ahead. Hardy after the
Flanagan's had an issue. Another championship contender.
It was in the same incident actually, and I think we're going to see another thing after this. So we'll just that's Flanagan recovering to the circuit, and then I think we're going to see something else after this that's going to drop him back behind the people we can see on the screen.
Wow.
Twitch. Yep.
So twice in 3 corners.
Oh, sorry. That was Hardy recovering, wasn't it? And then Flanagan got hit by Hardy, so Hardy had another twitch, so his tyres were cooked, and Flanagan into. That's quite a shame.
Does mean that McFadden's now up into P2, so both first and second have gained 13 places each, and it's side by side with Maxwell, just losing out to Richard Warmingham there. He's up 7 places, so has had a nice run. But just a little update with the championship contenders. So we've got who's the furthest up? So Clark, of course, involved in that one. So he's P12. That's the highest up of any of the Showdown guys. Let's concentrate on this right on the inside. Can he hold on against Sports and Grant? Grant's going to have the inside, I think, for the next corner. So yeah, highest placed Showdown driver is Clark in 12th, and then Cullinan 13th, Flanagan 14th, and Dima's out in 18th. So Alex, you pretty much just won Anwar Smith the championship, I think.
And not yet. He still scored 0 points as well.
Well, seriously, at the end of this round, because those guys are going to be starting from the back of the grid, he could actually be second in the championship at the end of this one, because he got bonus points earlier on in the series. So it's looking brilliant for him. That's a move from Warmingham on Ayres, I think that was. And contact, that's big contact. So that was Sports and Grant going into the back of Ayres. They seem to have sorted it out. But Warmingham up into P4.
Gaps at the front then. Just up on the screen. So 3 seconds to the lead for McFadden. Doing a good job in his Ferrari. And so O'Connor 5 seconds back. Warmingham 7 seconds really. And then that's what this is the battle that we are seeing for 4th. Flanagan just had some sort of timing glitch, I think, where he disappeared for a moment and then came back. Still relatively close out there, though.
Yeah, definitely. Super competitive. Although Gopinko is just edging away from McFadden, but just still be a solid P2. Would be great to see Lane O'Connor finishing in P3. Didn't have a great day yesterday in the Euro V8 Supercar Series, but having a better day out there currently in P3 and quite a bit ahead of Richard Warmingham. It was actually slower on that last lap, but of course making his way through the traffic. Got 8 more minutes to go, so yeah, probably about 5 more laps after this one. So O'Connor, I think, is probably going to be a sitting duck, although I think Warmingham might have damage.
Yeah, he does on the front right, doesn't he? It's not so bad in the Merc. Let's let me see if I can find the roll bar cam, and we'll see if he's tracking a little bit different or if it's still straight. That's the only time really it's going to be a problem, if he's taken hard enough hit that's tracking. The aero's not going to be too much affected, a little bit, but it'll make a difference around Silverstone, that's for sure. Looks like he's tracking straight, so I don't know if there's any issues with turning or anything like that. So I think he's absolutely fine there. Yeah.
Things there are barely any straights around here. Everything is kind of a little bit curved, and yeah, the straights are kind of not very long when you get to them. Interesting bats actually out there is Hardy, Clark, Cullinan and Flanagan. 3 of the championship contenders, all super close to each other, so that could be quite an interesting one, because that's direct for the championship. They didn't think that they'd be fighting over P12 and over just picking up 1 more point than one another, but maybe thought that they'd be fighting for at least the podium, but this is the way it is. And yeah, here's John Watson just following Colin Robinson. He's made up a few places actually recently, picking up from others' mistakes, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be a move this time in Stowe.
Just too far back, I think, to do anything. But yeah, good battle for 8th. Oh, well.
Wow, he's hung on.
That's how you get it done.
Well, will he come back onto the circuit? He will. Oh, he might lose out here to Hardy. Going down the inside, not quite. And that's just backed him up into Clark. So Hardy and Clark were the 2 who crashed into each other earlier on, weren't they?
They were indeed.
And here they go again, round 2. To the outside goes Clark. Clark should be a bit faster. Can he hang it round the outside? He's off the circuit.
Grass.
And he's just about lost only 1 position. Nearly fell behind Flanagan as well. And going through there was Cullinan past Hardy. So Cullinan has just gained 2 positions in 2 cars. That's so far back. I don't know. Surely must have an issue there. Hardy, I think he might have a slowdown, because Flanagan nearly passed him from about 50 metres back.
Good job from Rafe. You think what happened to him on lap 1?
Yeah.
You know, with not quite 15 minutes into this race, and he's back in the pack. He's lost 2 places from where he started at the moment, but yeah, he's back in the pack and coming through. So showing really, really strong pace. He's about a second a lap faster than the people around him right now. So fantastic job from Rafe. Oh no, just about holds on to that. Don't know if you saw that in the background, but yeah, Hardy just
off again.
Oh, well.
Flanagan needs to be careful here. Oh, he was super aware, and Hardy just drops down further. Next up will be Malcolm to get through, but now Cullinan, Clark and Flanagan still all line astern. And here comes Max Wright. David Ayres, has he got an issue? I think so, because I think he'd already made that move. But here comes him again down the inside, a little bit too far back. They need to kind of get this one done quickly, otherwise Robinson will be with them, and Cullinan's going to be closing in on these guys very quickly as well. 4 more minutes to go. But yeah, I must say earlier on, I think I said Cullinan won't score any points in this round. I mean, it looks actually like he could get kind of 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's a great drive back, really is. He's going to catch those 2 in front of him definitely by the end of the race, just looking at his pace. So just whether or not he can get by at that point. Yeah,
here's the battle for the final spot on the podium. O'Connor, Bortengart and Warmingham. So I think Bortengart managed to get the move on Warmingham, and Bortengart looking very quick out there, and that last lap was half a second faster than O'Connor. Of course, both in the Merc, it's not going to be easy to force the move. And for sure, Warmion will be right behind, looking to get involved. Because we've seen so far today that collisions can occur. And, it's been those drivers who can pick up from those collisions and gain positions from it that have been getting the good results. Really close now.
See if Grant was going to get a good exit there, get the drive off that he needs.
Well, O'Connor go defensive here. He's leaving it open, almost inviting Broughton Grant to go down the inside, and I think he may have been.
Done. Yeah.
And yeah, straight through. Can he get the drive out of Stowe? It's not going to be good enough. Here we ride on board with him. Has a little bit of a look just to see the braking zone, and yeah, he's not close enough.
He's under more pressure from behind, actually, isn't he? Oh, maybe not. We just see a little wiggle from Warmingham behind, giving it absolute full beans coming out of club corner there. Traction control, doing absolutely everything there to save the car. So, yeah, just goes to show, even though you have the systems in place, the drivers do sort of dial back the settings a little bit just to try and aid on time, but straight through. I don't know what's going on with O'Connor. He just seems to be, waving everybody through. After you, after you.
Well, he'll be able to stay in 5th place, but it would have been nice to see him get a podium, because I think that would have been his first of the season, but it doesn't seem like it's going to end that way. Still going to be in a good position to start the final race, could maybe get some more points later on. But Cullinan on the back of Jacobson now, so that could be another position for Cullinan. He needs to just gain as many positions as possible. That would be another 1 point for him, and he's right on the back of Jacobson, I think, now. And actually has got past Jacobson, so yeah, Cullinan up into P10 now, and Jacobson down to 11th.
Let's get the replay of that. Sorry, a bit tardy on the camera work there to try and find that. But yeah, great move around the outside. As well to sweep through. And for any of you that are knowing, Sam is literally just commentating that on a live timing screen because he didn't see it, because he's glued to what I can see now as well. So just goes to show I'm doing a rubbish job. In my defense, I do have a lot of buttons to press.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know where the buttons are, let alone how to activate them.
At some point, I'll do a little screenshot of my photo of my setup of what everything's going on. So, oh no, Ez, with the mistake, just ran in far too deep. He's gifted the place there to Robinson and Watson, both drivers through. And actually, Rafe is having a little sniff. We've got 15 seconds left of this race as well. Rafe is through.
Oh, nice defense.
Yeah. Gonna have the inside line. He's gonna drive right around. This is where the BMW is strong, though. It carries so much downforce. You can just sort of hold it around that outside. That you can see there the difference. He's able to carry pretty much the same speed all the way around the outside, or a bit more. But yeah, the power of the Merc coming back, and all of a sudden, Rafe
down the inside and off.
Had to defend that, didn't he? He's all right though. He's going to survive, but that's opened the door up for Clark, who's drove straight through Anthony. Jacobson not able to hold on. Right, what's going on up front? Whereabouts is our leader? Chidkafenku. Great race. Got half a lap to go here then. Silverstone. McFadden behind him. 6 seconds back. Still, making sure that he doesn't make a mistake. Otherwise, he could still get the win. So Richard has still got on his toes. Grant, similar sort of distance actually from McFadden. You see this next little battle coming in, and then we've got the Manic one. Will Rafe get another spot? Will he get up to? He's in the top 10 now, so I said that was a good drive. But will he get 9th? Where is? Here he is. Last couple of corners then for Richard Kafenko as he heads into Brooklands for the final time of the 2 sprint races. course, we've got one more after this, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, Richard coming across to take victory here. Race number 2 in the BSR Grand Tour event, Silverstone.
Yeah, awesome drive from Richard. Could have won the first race maybe, but brilliant drive initially to get all the positions up. And here comes Cullinan trying to gain another position. But Clark right on his tail. I think at the end of this one, even if he finishes here, Cullinan, I think he'll still be in the lead of the championship at the conclusion of this race. He's going to try to make it. Got to be more careful of Clark behind him. Cullinan comes home in P10. Pretty good considering he was stone dead last with damage after just half a lap of the event. Here comes Michael Gray just coming through.
He just literally got by Carl Hardy as well. So I just saw that on the live timing screen. So he was behind, and Michael managed to sneak through. That's the damage on Hardy's cut. Right, I think no, not quite done, but close.
Hardy's trying to spend as much time as possible to cross the line, but there he goes now. So we can take you to the finishing positions, and it's Richard Gafenke who takes the race victory from 14th on the grid. Stuart McFadden was 15th on the grid and finishes in second. Both those two had great starts and really went through the traffic well. Adam Broughton Grant didn't have an awesome start, actually. He had to make most of his positions up just by picking off the drivers. He finishes in third from 13th on the grid. And Richard Birmingham started 12th. He got an awesome start, but just lost out to Broughton Grant about midway through. Still nice points for him in fourth. Lane O'Connor started high up and got a nice start. He finishes in fifth. Max Wright finishes in sixth, one of his best results of the season. Colin Robinson, seventh. John Watson, more good points for him in eighth. David Ayres finishes in ninth from second on the grid. He had a couple of issues. Ralph Cullinan, wow, he will be, I think he'll take that one, the highest placed of the championship contenders, of the Showdown runners. And after a spin, just half a lap into the race, he'll be glad to pick up that one. Luke Clark, he could have got a podium, maybe even second place actually, but was involved in a collision, so it ends up in 11th. Anthony Jacobson in 12th. Jim Flanagan, another disappointing race for him. Couldn't really make the moves early on. He ends up in 13th. Scott Malcolm 14th. Josh Thompson, what could have happened to him? He had an awesome start, but yeah, made that collision with Cullinan after running in about P7. Maybe he could have fought for a podium, but ends up in 15th. That's Carl Hardy in 16th. He was involved in a few collisions. Michael Gray in 17th, and Lee Deemer, the former championship leader, ends up in 18th, the only retirement. And of course, we will be back in about 15 minutes with Richard Gafenke, who will be taking the pole position of the third race of the evening here in the BSR Grand Tour. Catch that one in about 15 minutes.
Because here comes Holgate. He has the outside line through the final corner for the final time. Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Holgate? It's going to be Christopher Demery at the line. here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher Demerit at the line.
Welcome back to the BSR Grand Tour here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Bax, I'm Fitzpatrick, alongside Alex Simpson, who is also on the cameras. And we've got another really good race for you in prospect. 35 minutes in length. And after two interesting rounds, Alex, of course, Championship really is on a knife edge. No one really wants to win it, seemingly, because all the Championship contenders have had kind of two quite poor races, really.
Yeah, I mean, there was there was one sort of thing that we needed to, you know, we sort of mentioned at the start of the race, and that was the importance of finishing every race in the showdown. And no one wants to. So yeah, I don't really know what the guy's mindset is out there right now. So I think carries on like this for the rest of the well, there's 2 more races after this, 2 more meetings after this. Yeah, it could be quite a interesting championship run-in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And because Anwar Smith, the championship leader coming into this round, couldn't unfortunately make it for this round, so he's not present. However, as I said at the start of the second race, he might still be in range. Alex merely laughed at my my proposition, but it seems to maybe be true, unless maybe one of the championship contenders, Ralph Cullinan, Luke Clark, Jim Flanagan and Lee Deemer can have a terrific result out there. But with the competition out there, it's not going to be easy for them to make up those positions. And of course, probably more difficult to pass than anyone else out there is Richard Gafenki. He's starting on pole position for this one, with Adam Broughton Grant in 2nd place. Richard Birmingham starts in 3rd. Lane O'Connor 4th. Max Wright in 5th. Colin Robinson 6th. John Watson starts in 7th. David Ayres 8th. And it's Ralph Cullinan, the top of the championship, I believe, and also the top championship contender on the grid. And it's Luke Clark, another championship contender. Anthony Jacobson, Jim Flanagan, another showdown driver, followed by Scott Malcolm, Josh Thompson, certainly watch out for him, one of the fastest drivers out there. Next, Carl Hardy, Michael Gray and Lee Deemer, who so far has had a pretty miserable day in 17th place.
He just needs to finish this one, doesn't he? Lee, really, to make sure he clocks up some points. That's, I think, his biggest priority after what's gone down so far.
Yeah, I think was leading the championship after the first race today, but that 17th position, picking up no points, really has not helped his cause. Who was it who finished 2nd in the last race? Because I think we've lost a driver, haven't we? Because Broughton Grant and Warmingham finished 3rd and 4th, I think.
Yeah, we have lost a driver, you're right. It was only 17 out. What's the inside line going so slow for?
I think Gafenki's holding them up. Oh, he's doing what he did earlier on, isn't he?
Fair enough.
Where he left a massive gap, and I wonder maybe Broughton Grant. He
Well,
wasn't near the front, was he?
Adam might want to stay behind the pace car, but he won't be able to. Unfortunately, he will get a penalty if he stays there. So it is entirely up to Richard if he wants to do this. Obviously, a lot of the drivers behind are going to be very antsy, but that outside line, see, they were getting flashed at. But they haven't really got to worry about it. They will get a penalty if they want to stay out there. I think Richard's worried that they might not, but they absolutely will.
The field's really getting spread out now, isn't it? That whole line is going to be messed up, I think, on this race start, like we saw earlier on. And Gafenki's still behind, so Broughton's got to slow down here. Just about going to catch up to the pace car, but that whole side is trying to catch back up. This is going to be chaos on the start. That whole side have been really disadvantaged, and here comes Gafenki. Puts his foot down. He will lead from the start here. Broughton Grant in 2nd place, but that's warming up really close in behind. Lane O'Connor might be coming under pressure as well from Luke Clark. He's already up 5 positions, and contacts there. And oh, it's 3 wide just behind, I think.
Well, it was 4 wide, actually, I think, at one point.
Well, Clark's up 6 positions already, clearly started on the even side of the grid, and has really profited from that. And a driver off the track, I think that may have been David Ayres.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're not going to be very happy with that. I think there may be some protests go in, because it really did catch him out. And yeah, I'm not sure what the rules are on that, but I am pretty sure that all of the drivers, maybe not Adam Broughton Grant, because he's allowed to kind of go with the pace car. That's kind of his thing, stay behind the pace car. I think they would have got, all of them from the 2nd row would have got a penalty. Because they'd because they'd overtaken him before the green flag on either side. So, if I'm not mistaken, so yeah, I think he should have just held strong there, and actually they would have been in a right pickle.
Yeah, but he is still leading the way, and Broughton not putting too much pressure. He is still staying in touch, already quite spread out currently. But like I said, Josh Thompson up 8 positions, from 14th to 6th out there. Flanagan up 4 positions, and really it's Reeve Cullinan who's lost out majorly out there. Started in P9, and he's now down to P10, but might be able to gain one here. He's got John Watson just ahead. I don't think Watson's going to be too much of an issue, although he's going to struggle down the straight here and might even have to watch out for Gray. I doubt Gray's going to want to get involved in this one. Cullinan just looks to the inside, but there's no way through there. Not a big enough braking zone. And he's going to have to sit in behind through Max and Beckett, so he's already quite a long way behind his championship contenders in the form of Clark.
This pack just trying to find itself, isn't it, at the moment? Spread itself out just a little bit. I'm trying to get runs on everybody else. We've just about managed to settle itself down, like you say. Huge places gained. Thompson up 9.
That was Watson. I think he's had a hardware failure or something, because he's gone straight into the wall.
Yeah, we jump back to the pits. Let's see. I know that battle was going on, but let's see this replay. We can get back to them if they overtake. Let's see exactly what happened to Thompson. Oh yeah, look at that.
Maybe a frozen screen or something?
I would think so, yeah. He just doesn't know where he's going, and then would have felt it maybe in his wheel, or a wheel failed or something like that.
So Lane O'Connor's got a bit of a queue behind him. Had a nice little race too, getting 5th position. Started 4th for this race, already down 3 positions. So thinking about it, 4th place. So actually, he was on the decent side of the grid thinking about it, but just hasn't really gone his way so far. And he's just showing why Cullinan, who did get up into 9th position, and he's only just behind Flanagan now. And Clark already up into P4, so he's running away. Hardy's off, and now Jacobson will go through. Demon is up 4 places from 17th to 13th. He's of course in the championship hunt as well. But yeah, Clark just ahead of Thompson. But Thompson's close, isn't he? And I think he might have a little bit more pace.
I think he's got a fair amount more, to be fair. We'll see what he can do. Coming through, Beckett's Chavel, Maggots. You know, it's all about the exit really onto the hangar straight. For Thompson, will he get enough of a run to perhaps have a little look, maybe up the inside here at Stowe? He throws one in from a little way back, and you have to do that with the BMW.
Should be fine for the turn. I think Clark might be able to take this one back, and came back onto the second a little bit dangerously there. Clark can't go around the outside. Will he try to fight back? They've lost each other quite a bit of time actually. And if anything, Max Wright, who's having a good run out there in 6th place, he might be able to get involved. Now, can the Mercedes power maybe bring him back here? He just sits in behind. It's not worth Clark battling this one, I think, because he's going to lose out in the end. And I think he's just got to be aware of just beating Flanagan, beating Cullinan, and beating Dima.
Exactly. He doesn't need to get worried on it. Josh has done, what, 2 races so far this season, so he's not involved in anything that he needs to be there. And Josh is a aggressive driver and will, you know, try and squeeze you, hold you into positions you don't want to be in, and it's easy to make mistakes under that situation. And you're going to give up places to your championship rivals. Of course, Josh has got nothing to race for. You know, he's trying to race for the win. That's his thing. And yeah, so he's going to be aggressive and move forward. What the front 3 have just sort of, I mean, they haven't checked out. I do believe with this longer race that Josh will hunt them down, because he was the quickest driver in the first race. And Carl Hardy into the pits. There's some
Gray's had an issue.
Yeah, I was about to say there's some changes, and actually he's jumped to the pits as well. Let me see if I can find that on replay.
Yes, already John Watson out seemingly, so too Carl Hardy and Michael Gray as well.
I think Cullinan went off there as well. He did. I tell you, it's bumpy out there. It is really bumpy out there. Once you get past that Astro, you know, you're full on that AstroTurf beyond the curb. And yeah, unless your setup is absolutely dialed in to deal with those bumps, it really, really will just just unsettle the balance and car can get loose.
So Broughton Grant still staying in touch with Gafenki. Maybe we'll have to wait till the pit stops to really get anything to happen. Warming's got an upturn in pace because he's not had a brilliant day warming him, but actually in this one, looks very competitive. One of the fastest drivers out there. And like you said earlier on, Alex, Josh Thompson closing in on the gap. I think the most interesting battle is O'Connor versus Flanagan versus Cullinan, and Robinson's involved in that one as well, because it really does matter for the championship. There's no doubt O'Connor's slower than these guys, and in the last race, of course, O'Connor let the podium go quite easily, and I think I don't think will he think these drivers behind are in the championship and I don't want to get involved, or yeah, what do you think his mindset will be? Will he even know that?
I'm sure he will know that, but yeah, I don't think you can afford just to let anyone go. That's the thing. I think if people get a run on you and you are worried about the championship, then maybe you give them a little bit more room than you would do normally. But that's kind of it. Let's see. That's the thing. If you just check, just can't see him checking out a bit. That's for sure.
Well, will he go?
Flanagan does get a run.
A little bit defensive, doesn't he? But not too much resistance. Although he's going to try to hang it around the outside. He's going to have the inside for Club as long as he doesn't run too wide here. Flanagan gave him lots of space, and he's got to be careful. And Cullinan just behind, down the inside goes Flanagan, and he can't make that one. Little bit wide again for O'Connor. Flanagan's still going to have a chance. Cullinan just can't really get his nose on the inside currently of Flanagan. So important for the championship, and here comes Jim again. Looks to the inside, and he should have that one on the brakes, unless O'Connor can again go around the outside. He can, and now Cullinan goes down the inside. He can get his nose in the right position now, but round the outside goes Flanagan. He will have the inside for the next one, and a lot of space being given there from Cullinan. I'm surprised. These guys seem really passive all of a sudden. They're leaving, a car's width seemingly between each other constantly.
Well, it's quite a change from the first race, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were leaving no room whatsoever. So, yeah. Probably learnt their lessons from the first one, exactly what's going on. Right. Thompson, he's right on the tail now of Warmingham.
Ooh.
Warmingham just mounts that curb there. I mean, it is the right line, but perhaps not up on the grass like that one. So, car did seem like it reacted a bit funny, didn't it, as it went up it? Thompson, getting close. I heard someone sliding there as well.
Yeah, I did as well. I thought maybe Kapenko had spun, but I think he was fine. Didn't lose any time.
It's very, very close for this battle as well. Look at the timing screens. Yeah, perfect. Flanagan and Rafe.
Also, Rafe has now got the move done, hasn't he?
Let's get a replay of that. Exactly
wow,
where that was.
wide.
Oh, it was wide for Flanagan. That was easy then, wasn't it, really, in the end?
Yeah, if Flanagan had got the move on O'Connor, he could have maybe pulled out a little bit, but I think Flanagan was saying earlier on how he's had an issue during the week, and yeah, maybe isn't quite on his top form. He will need to be in the next 2 rounds to decide the championship, because I don't think today's going to be a great day for him. He came into this round, I think, in 4th in the championship, but I think he might exit in 4th, maybe 3rd, might get ahead of Anwar Smith, but he's going to be further behind Cullinan now, who I think is going to be the top dog going into the final 2 rounds of the season, because he's got the most pace currently, and will be looking to get past O'Connor finally. But still, Max Wright actually doing a good job, isn't he, in 6th place, hanging on quite comfortably, and actually not letting Luke Clark go too far away.
Yeah, no, great job for him. I mean, I think with all this extra weight that's been piled onto the on the Audi with the success ballast, it's still going to perform relatively well around here, but it definitely would hurt it. Going through the first couple of sectors here at Silverstone, the old GP, moves done and dusted. Oh, that's not the replay we want. That's the one we want.
It was quite a long way back, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, quite deep. Clearly has a lot more confidence than Warmingham, and I think Richard's quite a experienced driver, wasn't going to get involved in that one too much. And now the chase is on, 6.5 seconds to catch, and he's got 23 minutes to do it. But I think pit stops are going to be important. I think if he's going to really close in that gap, either Gafencu's got to make a mistake, as he did earlier on, of course, or I think Thompson's going to have a slightly more fuel in that tank, so he can go a couple of laps further in this first stint.
Yeah, one mandatory stop for those that tuning in and don't know about it. So that should be interesting to see when that's all going to happen. Just watching Rafe Cullinan try and close down Lane O'Connor, Flanagan behind. Did check the championship standings. Don't know if they have been updated, because it is Rafe who's leading the way right now. Don't know if it's been updated from race 2. Give it a refresh and just see. Maybe, I don't know. There's only 1 point in it, so you might be right.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess it has been updated, because Anwar was in the lead of the championship before today, and I think Dima's out. Oh, he's in the pit, sorry. So, yeah. That's really early, though. So, I think he's really struggling out there today as Lee Dima. I think he feels like he has to do something out of the ordinary.
Just to move forward, I think, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just struggling, yeah. You think how quick he was last week as well. Real good confidence on that. And, yeah, just not being able to do anything here. Stop was quite quick, 40 seconds in total. Stationary for 8.7, so just the fuel that he needed. No tyres, of course. It was very rare. Tyres are good for a couple of hour-long stints, so can't see anyone changing those. This is the main battle that's on the track right now, actually. This O'Connor, Cullinan, Flanagan and Robson one. Everyone else is kind of spreading apart. Even Warmingham's losing the tail of Thompson now. Grant's 4 seconds back.
Yeah,
it's just a question on the chat about the fuel. And
he's round. Oh, and Cullinan had to stamp on the brakes. Flanagan nearly went into the back of him. I don't think that was too much contact. And O'Connor's dropped down below Malcolm down into 11th place. Oh, that's annoying.
That was good from Cullinan and the guys behind, actually, because they could have easily piled into him, and that would have been Lane's race almost done. He decided to jump straight into the pit lane. And to answer the question on the chat, they're fuel restricted, I believe, aren't they, Sam?
Yeah.
So, which is why they have to pit. Otherwise, they could make it easy. But they restrict the fuel to force them into the pits for the one time, and they can decide roughly when they want based on their sort of fuel limits.
Yeah, 45% fuel fuel capacity. So usually these cars would go around a circuit like this for about 1 hour, 1 hour 5, I'd say. So yeah, it should just be about half an hour they can go at the most. But of course, you will see drivers under fuel to start off with, to give them a bit of a pace advantage early on, and then have to pit in a little bit earlier. But I imagine Gafencu, usually the front runners, wouldn't really go for something like that. Usually it's if you're near the back of the field, or if you're struggling for pace and you want to do something a bit different. But Gafencu's got all the pace he needs. He's still over 6 seconds clear of Thompson, who's failed to make any inroads so far. And that strategy difference I was talking about earlier, he's going to have to really rely on that, is Thompson. Maybe tyres? Is there going to be a difference between the Merc and the...
maybe a little bit, but not really over half an hour race. Right, let me take you for a lap around the old Silverstone GP circuit then. So we head our way into turn 1. Yes, this was turn 1. Into Cops Corner. Swing it in. Just fourth gear corner. Use some of the exit curbing on the outside. And then the best complex of corners ever. Beckett's, Maggots, Chapel. Left, right. And then final left onto the hanger straight. And a little bit wide from Gafencu. He just about keeps it on the circuit. You have to be careful there. You catch that grass. There you can throw you in the wall to the right, but onto hanger straight, under the bridge, get ready for Stowe Corner, spot your braking marker. Very late apex corner. It's so easy to turn in just a bit too early around here. Get on the power, track out. Into Vale, heavy braking. One of the slowest corners on the circuit. Use the curb on the inside just to sort of bump and sort of cut the corner, open up, club somewhat. This is all about the exit, getting the power down through there. A slightly tighter profile than what we currently have, I've been told. So it was a bit tougher to get on there. Into the old Abbey chicane. So left and then right. And we go under a bridge and through Bridge Corner. And we head into the left of Priory. Tricky corner. Always, car always seems to want to push before their little short stint into Brooklands. Obviously, Brooklands far less of a braking point now, well then, than what it is now. And then into Luffield. So we exit Luffield for the final, final corner of the circuit. And away around the corner we go. I try to think what that last little kink's called, but I cannot remember for the life of me. Woodcut, thank you. Yeah, good lap actually from Richard, even that with that one little mistake that he made.
Yeah, 144.18. The same time as it takes me to eat half a cheesecake there. So.
Oh, well, there you go. You see, this is what I did it for.
yeah, thanks for that. So down to 6 seconds now, the lead, but it's not really coming down enough. Quarter of a second gained by Thompson on that last lap. So he's giving his all, but currently not the pace advantage he needs. Warmingham still running in third place. He's going to be under pressure from Borton Grant soon. And Anthony Jacobson just pitted, by the way, from I think 10th position, so he'll be in, and we'll lose a couple of positions to Lee Deemer, who'll be up into P12 after making an early pit stop earlier on. And Clark, of course, still in 5th, the top Showdown runner, but Cullinan and Flanagan are closing in on Max Wright, and I think that's going to be the next battle to watch.
Yeah, 7/10 of a second between them at the moment. Of course, Rafe, he's kind of where he is now because of the incident in the first lap of the last race. You know, he had to recover in that run, and now he's just slowly working his way back up towards them. He is actually 24 seconds behind our leader already, so just goes to show you when you're in that pack and they're all squabbling, you can lose ground really quickly. And yeah, it's quite a margin. I'm quite surprised to see it like that, actually. I don't quite know what's gone on there. It really stems from Adam Broughton Grant and Richard Warmingham, I think. They just lost loads of time. Oh no, sorry, it's Luke Clark. 8 seconds back from Grant. So huge gap between them. So I don't really know what happened there. Can't think of an incident either that would have set them back that far.
Well, the leaders are Thompson just did a 43.8. Cullinan in fresh air did a 45.4. So it's just such a big pace differential. It's incredible. Warmingham and Broughton Grant are now really close. Broughton Grant right on the tail, and he'll be trying to get up into the podium positions. Luke Clark, of course, will be aiming for them to come into each other, and Cullinan's got right, I think. So yeah, I think and Wright's dropped down behind Flanagan as well, so maybe made a mistake, I think, because Cullinan wasn't even that close beforehand, and here we'll see it. It's pretty good so far. Lost the rear end there, nearly hung onto it, and was pretty lucky not to have a full spin, and yeah, just lost out to the two drivers.
Yeah, you did well there. When you get in that sort of position, it's very easy just to get like the death twitch, you know, where the car just snaps back on you the other way as you try and recover it.
Oh, wow.
Very wide for Rafe.
He's going to lose the position surely to Flanagan. Here comes Flanagan down the inside. The two Showdown drivers going to stay side by side here, and Cullinan's going to hold on. No chance for Flanagan. Nice little defensive driving there from Cullinan, but he kind of asked for that one because, well, I doubt he was that out of shape he had to go that far off. I think he maybe just a little bit of lack of concentration, lack of intensity, because yeah, if you're going that far off the circuit, you're just asking for an instant. And right in,
yeah.
so...
Yeah, Max, good timing I think from Max after he had that little twitch.
will be
Glenn
interesting.
Robbins decides to stay out.
It will be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Dima, because of course Dima came in for an early pit stop, and he will really want to be ahead of Wright, although I doubt it because he was behind beforehand. Dima just did a 45.4. You know what? That's a good time. That's faster. That's significantly faster than Cullinan and Flanagan. That's a second faster. So Dima might be bringing himself back into play here. And it really depends whether or not he's ahead of Max Wright, because Wright was, of course, right with Cullinan and Flanagan. And I think Dima is going to be ahead because Max Wright is now coming out of the pit. So it's going to be close. If they have a poor pit stop, then they're going to be behind. But it seems as though Dima's going to have to pass them on track.
Yeah, just see on the map how close it was as well. But I think it's up just during the pit stop phase. We'll see if they come in the end of this lap, and we can see how close he's going to get. So, but yeah, it's been a good few laps really. But Max was able to hold on, so it's going to need to get by Max pretty sharpish, I think. Make sure he gets it done. Max was at the back of that pack, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he just lost the 2 positions, didn't he? So they should be about 2 seconds ahead when they come into the pits. And Thompson's in. So that little hope I had that maybe he had a little bit more fuel and could maybe get the overcut, because the undercut isn't really a thing in these types of races with them not changing tyres. Seemingly not really anyone else coming in. I think Thompson's going to be in a nice bit of clear air though, so he should be okay to set a couple of nice lap times.
Yeah, what's he got, about 4 or 5 seconds, something like that? Oh, actually, just nipping in front of him. Scott Malcolm just nipped in front of him.
Yeah, do you know which pit entrance you're meant to use? Oh, sorry, pit exit you're meant to use out there?
You can officially use both. It doesn't matter, you don't get anything. But yeah, the Grand Prix cars, obviously, the Grand Prix or the F1 cars used to exit straight out onto the circuit, where I think other series do use that sort of auxiliary line to feed them in a bit easier. Thompson straight through then. Nice move. Cullinan under pressure still from Flanagan. Neither of these drivers are pitted. Great run from the exit of club there for Rafe. Got David Ayres into the pits at the moment. So 17 seconds stationary for him. That's quite a lot. Everybody else has been around about 8 to 10 seconds. So maybe that's some tyres or something like that, or maybe a penalty.
Yeah, could well be a penalty. Not too bad a pit entrance around here, but I imagine it is possible to pick up an unsafe entry. And of course the speeding penalty as well. You got to decelerate quite significantly. Let's see if either of Cullinan and Flanagan come in. Team has failed to make the move on Wright, although he is right on the tail. And Cullinan is into the pits, so this could be interesting. I think he's still going to be ahead of Wright and Dima, but if he's a little bit slow, he's going to be in trouble. And also, is that Robinson in as well? So yeah, he's had a nice little run. And sorry, what's happened to Cullinan? Has he just crashed in the pits?
He has crashed in the pits. Exactly that. The car's crabbing. He's done. Do they get fast repair this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is. I can't believe he's just done that.
Mr. Fox. Well, there you go.
What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know at all. So just not looking, not paying attention there. So
well, he's gonna lose out massively because already Dima and Wright have gone past. So Ralph Cullinan, who was going to be leading the championship at the conclusion of this race, may have just thrown away, 5, well, I say 5, probably more like 10 crucial points in the championship.
Yep, don't text and drive. Whatever he was doing out there. I love the fact that the chat is alive with good bit of trolling as well. So keep on spamming, boys. So I'm sure when the drivers watch it back, they'll appreciate the the Smoky Bandit references.
So Bortz and Grant will take the lead now that Gafenku, Warmingham, and also Clark is in as well. Flanagan's in as well, so Flanagan could find himself in a pretty good position. He's going to be second place of the Showdown drivers, only just behind Luke Clark. And that's going to be important for Flanagan because he came into this particular race in 5th in the championship, 16 points behind the lead, but he's certainly going to be able to close that down because it seems like both Cullinan and Anwar Smith, who isn't here today, aren't going to score points. Here comes Warmingham out to the pits.
No issues, Demon way back from them. He's only coming to start-finish line now. Will he get Flanagan? Maybe this will be close. I can hear him. There he is. Get a better run, obviously coming off, but it's only going to be a few seconds behind.
Josh Thompson isn't especially happy on the chat. It was WT and then a lot of Fs, so I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he's got a penalty of some kind. He hasn't lost any time to Gafenki, so I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Was that where he was typing it?
He is on 19 incidents, so I don't know if he's aiming for that, but the next highest is 7, and that's Luke Clark.
Just gone back a bit, sort of see if we can see anything. I can't see anything, don't know what he's on about. So, yeah, he's lost it, any.
And Borton Grant is now in, so should just come back out. Actually, you know what? This is going to be close for Borton Grant because he was right on the tail of Warmingham beforehand. So that could be quite interesting. Scott Malcolm's in as well. But this could be quite important now for Borton Grant versus Warmingham because Borton Grant couldn't get the move done previously. So his best chance might be in this pit sequence. Did he put in a good enough outlap? And the answer is no, because Warmingham's ahead.
Yeah, by a long way as well.
Yeah. So lost a lot of time there.
We've only got 6 minutes left of this now. And Thompson's nowhere near Richard, so he's not going to get there either. 6 seconds. Maybe that's what he was WTFing about. Because what was the gap before they came in? I think it was slightly less than what it is now.
6 seconds stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Josh was 40.58 in the pit lane, where Richard was 39.98. So pulled away another half second. So I don't know that. It must have been something else that was getting up his nose.
Possibly the most important battle out there is Flanagan v Deemer. So Deemer, with that early pit stop, seemed to really be struggling with pace throughout today. And yeah, he even admitted that I think he's not quite on his top form. So yeah, he's closing back in on Flanagan, and that's the battle for the second place Showdown driver. Clark, it seems, is going to get 5th, and that would be... Oh, I'm trying to work out who's going to be in the lead of the championship after this one. It's going to be Deemer, I think, in the lead of the championship, only just ahead of Cullinan, and then it'll be Clark, Smith, and Flanagan, I think. Not sure, but yeah, we'll wait and see. But certainly all to play for. And I think, Alex, if we had no idea who was going to win the championship going into this round, I think we've got even less than an idea now.
I got no clue. 2 more races left of this one. And yeah, I think only the drivers have got a clue out there. So they'll know how they performed today. Overall, yeah, you're right. It just seems to me we need someone just to grab hold of it and just go, right, I'm going to just, you know, get some really good strong finishes here and just consistent finishes, and that's how they're going to win it. So, yeah, it could go anyone. And Smith has an opportunity to win this. So I'll have to eat my words because it's not going to be far behind. Not going to be far behind at all. We'll have dropped back some places and some points, but not a great deal.
Well, Deemer, if he finishes in 7th, off the top of my head, that would be 10 points, nine points, I think, for Dima. So Smith would be 8 points off the championship lead going into the final 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So he would be he'd be right in the mix. But of course, it could be even less than that because he's only got it could be more than that. So he could get Flanagan as well. Malcolm having a decent run out there in 9th. He pitted, I think, the latest of all. Maxite's just slipped down a little bit. Still a decent drive for him, and actually quite a good day for Maxite. I think this would be his 3rd top 8 of the day. I don't think he's done that all season. So, hopefully he can consolidate that. Representing the Audi very well out there.
He's got, what, half-second advantage. He's going to have to hold on. What was... I can't really tell because Malcolm was an outlap the last time. So, I don't know if he's been closing in. 0.6 of a second behind. Colin Robinson just doing his thing. He's lapping nice and consistent as well at the moment. It's kind of settled down somewhat, hasn't it, Sam? From the first couple of races, they're a bit more sort of in your face and exciting. This one really just sort of followed bit of a traditional path of the guys at the front just pulling away somewhat. Thompson got through early, and then we've not seen too much else action.
No, and I wonder if it's a change with the driver mentality actually, because I did mention earlier how much space I think it was Cullinan and Flanagan were giving to each other and other drivers as well. I think they kind of have realised that, hang on, we kind of just need to pick up the points, and I think that mindset may have trickled down throughout the field. Still, it didn't end up with Cullinan scoring as many points as he would have wanted. He is in 14th, so he would pick up 2 championship points, and of course every little counts at the moment. He would be, I think, 2nd in the championship going into the final 2 rounds of the season. But it is quite incredible, you know. We've got 3 really good drivers who fully deserve to be in the showdown, and none of them today are going to get a top 4 in any of the 3 races. So, yeah, Clark in 5th at the moment, that would be the best that any of them have done so far. So, oh, yeah, incredible. And Dima really wants to get that move on Flanagan. And Flanagan kind of needs this because without it, I think he's going to be entering the final 2 rounds of the season back in 5th in the championship. And to date, he's really hasn't shown the pace maybe that would be good enough to take on the likes of Cullinan and Anwar Smith.
Good run for Dima. Thinking about it on Flanagan there. Close as he's been, just needs to nail the second part of Beckett's, Maggots and Chapel just to get the run off. Just couldn't quite stay as close as he was through there. It's not going to be bad, but I don't think he's going to actually get the run, is he? Closing, just not enough. Good little battle going on behind as well. Going to have to switch it up to Richard though, because time is up in this race, and this will be the final lap of the race.
Yep, took pole position for the first race. Only could convert it into a 3rd after a mistake. But since then, he's been absolutely superb. Win in the 2nd race, and now a win in the 3rd race. Brilliant day at the office for Richard Gafenki. Fantastic drives from him throughout. And quite a way back is Josh Thompson, which, considering he started 14th on the grid, that's a good effort. And here's the battle. And it's Flanagan versus Dima. Dima trying to get through, trying to win that extra 2 points for the championship. But it's not going to happen. I think he's wide. And he's going to have to sit in behind as they come round the final corner. And it's going to be Clark to take home 5th. Flanagan to take home 6th. And Dima in 7th. Still positive points for all of them in their championship with Cullinan and Stevens and Anwar Smith all not scoring many points in that one, but could have been better for them. And Lane O'Connor coming across the line in 11th. But yeah, Alex, of course, you were saying how it kind of calmed down in that third race, but I think the racing out there and the competitiveness, I think, was one of the best we've seen all season.
It was very close. Like I say, the mixed grid order really does sort of show it's quite spiced up, and if that's what the rest of the showdown's going to be, who knows? How we're going to call that.
Yeah, definitely. All to play for. Here comes Rafe Cullinan. Well, arguably a silly mistake, but of course we don't really know what happened to him in the pits, but it cost him probably a top 6 in the end, and about 12 championship points in comparison to his rivals. So could be really crucial. He will still go into the final 2 rounds, I believe, in second in the championship, but not what he wanted. But we can now take you through the results. And it's Richard Kopenko taking his second race victory of the evening, and then Josh Thompson with a great drive from 14th to second. Richard Warmingham finishes in third, and Alan Broughton Grant in fourth. A good day from him, actually. He was very competitive, particularly in races 2 and 3. Luke Clark finishes in fifth, Jim Flanagan in sixth, Lee Deemer in seventh, and it's Max Wright 8th. And Scott Malcolm, Colin Robinson, Lane O'Connor, Anthony Jacobson, David Ayres, Rafe Cullinan, who we've already commented on, Carl Hardy, Michael Gray, and John Watson rounding out the field. And should have a couple of interviews, and it's Josh Thompson once again making himself familiar in the broadcasting booth. And Josh, a really good drive from you out there today. Really good race 1, taking the race victory, and of course an excellent race 3 as well. How do you feel?
Yeah, really good actually. I really do this league just to try out stuff for World GT Series coming up for season 4. So obviously I'm running the BMW in that. So this is like a good reference point. I know it's a Kota and all, but obviously like trying like Kota setup stuff. It's similar, like it's similarities and stuff like that. So yeah, overall, like race 1, getting the win, I was quite chuffed with, because I definitely felt that the Merc was the better car over a lap. Yes, I gained a little bit in like Maggots and Beckett's, but the actual raw like torque and grunt of the Merc would keep pulling it away every time I got a run. So yeah, but that last race, I was having to try so hard. Like literally, I can't feel my hands right now or anything. You could see it on the right, just throwing it around, like giving none, like leaving nowhere, like track left or anything.
Well, yeah, you say you left no track left. 26 incident points. Second highest was 10 from Richard Warmingham. So yeah, clearly you were trying your absolute hardest, and I'm sure if you weren't starting, down in 14th, I think you could have definitely fought for that second race victory of the evening.
The thing is, though, the off tracks, they weren't even like big ones. It was just tiny ones, like turn 1, you run your wheel over to run off a little bit too much, end of hanger into stow. It was just those two there, like the little ones, just get like the back end, just flirting with it really, which is a bit of a shame. But now, literally, I was having to try so hard for it. But fair play to Richard, drove fantastic. But I think if I did start a bit higher up the grid, I'd had a chance. I obviously got to 4th or 5th end of the first lap, and then made that mistake, like misjudged it completely on Luke, and that really cost me what I probably could have run down. Because 4 seconds, I reckon I could have done, but 6 to 8 seconds, it's just not long enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we expect to see you maybe testing for World GT in the final 2 rounds of the championship as well?
Yeah, definitely. Just be playing around with stuff. So yeah, just helping out, just obviously helping the team out.
Yeah, should be great to see for the final 2 rounds. And before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, so I'd just like to say thanks to you guys for broadcasting, the admins for this league, obviously letting me join in quite late. I know it's a showdown and all, but still letting me race. And then the sponsor at Cranfield, not Cranfield, at Radical, should I say. So Cranfield, Asa Sim Race, Armour Centrum, all those boys.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.
That's it, mate. No one else coming for a chat.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up round there. And yeah, you can join us next week. Of course, we got World GT tomorrow, Alex.
Don't believe so. I'll double check that. I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't think it's on my calendar. Let me check. Let me just bring the calendar up and be sure. No.
No. Okay. Well, I guess the next race will be MX5s on Tuesday, won't it?
Correct.
BSR MX5. So yeah, certainly tune into that one. And of course, the penultimate round of the series here on Apex Racing TV for the BSR Grand Tour. And certainly the championship is hotting up. Who's going to win? We have absolutely no clue. No one has a clue. But certainly tune in for that one next Sunday evening. See you then.